Picture this: a tiny crescent-shaped sandbar, barely visible in the vast, churning waters of the North Atlantic. It's surrounded by the ghostly remains of over 350 shipwrecks, earning it the terrifying nickname, the Graveyard of the Atlantic. And on this isolated sliver of land, the only permanent residents are 500 wild horses, roaming free. How did they get there? And more importantly, how do they survive in one of the harshest environments on Earth? Welcome to Did You Know by FactBite Daily, where today we're unraveling the secrets of the wild horses of Sable Island. Sable Island is a place of legend and mystery. Located about 180 miles off the coast of Nova Scotia, Canada, this shifting island of sand is one of the most remote and inaccessible places in the world. For centuries, its treacherous, fog-shrouded shores and ever-changing sandbars have been a nightmare for sailors. The currents are notoriously strong, and the weather can turn from calm to a raging storm in an instant. It's a place that seems actively hostile to human life. Yet against all odds, a thriving population of wild horses calls it home. The most romantic and popular story about how these horses arrived is that they are the descendants of shipwrecked animals. Imagine a grand vessel, perhaps carrying prized Spanish steeds, caught in a violent Atlantic storm. The ship shatters against the sandbars, and amidst the chaos, a few terrified horses manage to swim through the crashing waves to the safety of the island, becoming the sole survivors. It's a dramatic tale of survival that has captured imaginations for generations. It paints a picture of resilience, of life emerging from tragedy. And for a long time, this was the story everyone believed. However, the real history, while less dramatic, is just as fascinating. Meticulous research by historians has uncovered a different origin. The story begins not with a shipwreck, but with human intervention. In the mid-1700s, an Acadian merchant and Bostonian pastor named Andrew Le Mercier brought horses, along with other livestock like cattle and hogs, to the island. His plan was to establish a settlement, a kind of farming outpost. But the unforgiving environment of Sable Island proved too much. The settlement failed, and while the other animals eventually died off, the horses remained. Later in the late 1750s, during the expulsion of the Acadians, the British confiscated livestock from French settlers, and it's believed that many of these animals, including horses, were moved to Sable Island by a Boston merchant named Thomas Hancock. They were essentially abandoned, left to fend for themselves on this barren strip of sand. So, they weren't survivors of a wreck, but rather castaways of human history. But this historical correction only deepens the central mystery. How on earth do they survive? Sable Island is not a paradise. It's a brutal, windswept landscape with no trees for shelter. There are no forests to hide in during the ferocious Atlantic gales, and no shade from the summer sun. The island's vegetation is sparse, consisting mainly of marram grass and other salt-tolerant plants. There are no natural predators like wolves or bears, which is a huge advantage, but the biggest challenges are the elements and the scarcity of resources, especially fresh water. And this is where the Sable Island horses reveal their incredible evolutionary genius. To survive the brutal, freezing winters, they grow incredibly thick, shaggy coats that insulate them from the biting winds and snow. They huddle together in family bands, using their collective body heat to stay warm. But their most amazing adaptation is how they find water. The island has very few permanent freshwater ponds. Instead, the horses have learned to dig. They use their hooves to paw at the sand, sometimes digging down several feet, to reach what are known as freshwater lenses. These are pockets of rainwater that have filtered down through the sand and sit on top of the denser saltwater below. It's a remarkable skill, passed down through generations, allowing them to tap into a hidden source of life. Their diet is just as resourceful. During the spring and summer, they graze on the tough island grasses. But when winter arrives and the vegetation dies back or gets buried under snow, they turn to an unlikely food source: seaweed. They patrol the beaches, munching on kelp and other marine algae that wash ashore. While not as nutritious as grass, this seaweed provides essential minerals and calories that help them endure the lean months. It's a perfect example of how life adapts to what the environment provides. These horses aren't just surviving, they've become masters of their unique, isolated ecosystem. For decades, the Canadian government managed the horse population. At times, they were viewed as a resource, with some being rounded up and sold. There were even plans to remove them entirely, with some arguing they were an invasive species damaging the fragile island ecosystem. But public outcry and scientific interest shifted this perspective. Scientists began studying the horses, realizing they were a unique, genetically distinct population that had adapted in extraordinary ways. They have a unique genetic makeup, different from any domestic breed, a direct result of their long isolation. In 2013, Sable Island was designated as a national park reserve, and the horses were granted full protection. Today, they are completely wild. Humans are not allowed to interfere with them in any way. There's no veterinary care, no supplemental feeding, and no management of their population. They are left entirely to the forces of nature, to live, breed, and die as they have for centuries. This hands-off approach has turned Sable Island into a living laboratory, offering invaluable insights into ecology, evolution, and animal behavior in a closed system. The horses live in small family groups, known as bands, typically led by a dominant stallion with several mares and their offspring. The social dynamics are complex and fascinating to observe. Stallions fiercely defend their bands from rivals, engaging in dramatic displays of power. The bonds within the families are strong, and young horses learn crucial survival skills from their mothers and other members of the group. Visiting Sable Island is incredibly difficult. Access is restricted to protect the fragile environment and its wild inhabitants. Only a handful of tourists, researchers, and park staff are permitted to land each year, and their movements are strictly controlled. Those lucky enough to witness the horses describe a truly magical, almost otherworldly experience. Seeing them galloping along the shoreline, manes flying in the wind, with the backdrop of sand dunes and shipwrecks, is like stepping into a different time. It's a hauntingly beautiful scene, a powerful reminder of nature's untamed spirit. The future of Sable Island and its horses is uncertain. The island itself is geologically unstable, constantly being reshaped by wind and waves. Climate change and rising sea levels pose a significant threat to this low-lying sandbar. It's a sobering thought that this unique habitat could one day disappear beneath the waves. But for now, the Sable Island horses endure. They are a living testament to the tenacity of life, a symbol of resilience in the face of impossible odds. They didn't choose their home, but they have claimed it, adapted to it, and made it their own. They are the wild, beautiful secret keepers of the graveyard of the Atlantic, a haunting reminder that life always finds a way, even on a sinking island in the middle of a graveyard. What do you think is the most incredible part of their survival story? And if you were stranded on an island, what's the one animal you'd want for company? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video.